Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry, Mowers and Blowers again. Good morning. It's Saturday, and today I'm off to see my friend Nick from Medford. He has an LT1000 carcass that he's getting rid of, and it has like some parts that I could use to rebuild another one. I also need the foot pad for the one that I pull the aerator with, and before, he wanted to borrow my aerator so that he can do his yard, and I was ready to bring it to him this morning and just let him use it, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm a nice guy like that. He says, nah, forget it, don't bring it. I said, why? Why not? He's like, I'm too lazy, I don't want to do it. I'm like, okay. But I have it in case you want it, you know. So before I go to Nick from Medford's house, I actually sold one of my self-propelled push mowers. It's that Quantum one that Boba found on the street, you know. Just sold it for $120, and also he gave me his mower, which is also a Quantum engine. The pull cord came off. Comes with a bagger and everything. So he gave that to me for free. That's right, free. So got rid of that mower, got another one. I mean, I love these deals because not only are you getting pretty decent money for a mower that you just found, right? And to my recollection for that one, I think I don't think there was really anything wrong with it. It's weird, you know what I mean? Oh, you know what? The pull cord was broken, so I just fixed the pull cord. Same exact reason this guy gave me his. The pull cord broke, so. It's a relatively easy fix, with the exception of the fact that it's a Briggs, and the Briggs, the recoil starter is riveted or welded onto the engine cover, so that is kind of a pain in the ass to remove. I wish it was just like Tecumseh's, where it's just 3 small bolts and the recoil comes right off the engine cover, you know, but it's relatively an easy fix, and, you know, the engine was running just fine before he broke the cord, you know what I'm saying, so that's a super easy fix, and not to mention the fact that it has a good bagger on it, too. So I'm headed to Nick from Medford's house. Hey, so I'm over at Nick from Medford's house. I haven't been here in a while, so when I was on the highway, I was like, hey, what's your address? He's like, you've been here like 5 times. I go, I know, but it's not like I remember everybody's address, you know what I mean? So in his driveway, he's got one of these things. He said he paid $275 for it just to flip, whatever. But then he loved it so much that he's going to keep it for himself. Purrs like a kitten. Mint condition. He took the engine out of this LT1000, and he's giving me the carcass. The only reason why I want this, he said the transmission's busted. It's a hydrostatic, and it doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? And also, when you mess with the linkage down there, it's just like loose and stuff. So I don't think it's connected inside. Something broke on the inside of the tranny, so I don't know. Maybe I'll take it apart. I'm not sure. But I actually just, you guys remember, I just bought this for $10. Damn it! And I do need a foot pad, the right one, for the LT1000 that pulls the aerator. That one. And you know what? I do need this push button thing for the other one that I have. So you know, I could use the parts for this. I'll probably dump the rest of the carcass. Oh, there's an LT1000 front end that I could always use too. I could use a lot of stuff, parts for this stuff. Oh, so I want to show you something. He ordered one of these brand new Chinese copies. The Chinese just recently made this. This is for the opposed twin. It's a copy of the Briggs opposed twin 4-screw Nicky. Looks pretty good. Hey, Nick, how much you pay for this?
What's that?
The Chinese carb. The Nicky, the opposed twin one. Yeah.
I think it was $18.99.
$18.99, man. So they sell brand new ones, OEM, for like $150, $180 I've even seen, right? But the Chinese made it. As a matter of fact, I think they got the idea from me because last year I contacted a bunch of these manufacturers. I says, hey, why don't you make this opposed twin carburetor? Because it goes for $150 here in the U.S. and you know, you could just copy them and make them and then sell them for like $50 or something, you know, which they're doing right now. So I think they got this idea from me, but the reason why I didn't do it was because they wanted me to send them 2 original ones so they can copy it, you know, with lasers and then make the molds for it. I guess they said, you know what? Maybe we'll do it. So they did it. This is it. Looks good. See, I mean, I could have made a ton of money if I went to China and bought one of those factories that can make the molds and stuff, and I could be in business. But honestly, I don't really want to live in China because I wouldn't be able to watch any football or Major League Baseball or any of that stuff. I guess if I had some kind of satellite feed, I could, but anyway. So it looks good, man. 18 bucks, man. Look at that. How do they make any money making this? 18 bucks. Crazy, right? So I've got a couple of engines that I'm getting ready to work on and fix. Problem is I can't, you know that engine that I got from Nick from Medford, right? You know, the 21 horsepower one, the reason why he gave it to me was because it smoked like hell. So I thought it was just the valve seal, which I replaced. I took it apart and replaced it. I actually took that damn thing apart like 3 times. So anyway, I recently just got a piston and rings for that, so that's ready to go. The only thing I'm missing is this. I needed a choke linkage, which Nick is giving me. He has an extra. And what I'm going to do is, I actually need 2, right? So I'm just going to go take another wire from another throttle linkage, and I'm going to bend it like this, so I'll have 2. You know, I'm going to make my own choke linkage. This is Nick's other stuff. He's got a brand new power washer here for himself. I saw this one here on Craigslist or Facebook, I think, and the guy wanted like $300. So what did he want $300 for? He wanted $125 or something for it, right? He says it just didn't start. And I offered him a trade, of course, and guy obviously has a ton of stuff. But anyway, so when I was talking to Nick today, he says, oh, I'm coming from Comac with, I said, wait a minute, from Comac? I know what you got. You got the Troy Bilt Super Bronco. He goes, yeah, that's the one. I said, how much you pay for it? He goes, 40 bucks, right? Dude, he started this up. It's a 18 horsepower opposed twin. He started it up, and it worked just fine. You guys remember Nick from Medford? He's the one of 3 members of Crackers and Tractors.
President of Crackers and Tractors.
President of Crackers and Tractors. Now you're flooding it.
It don't start.
It starts. It starts. It starts just fine.
You should try the key.
The key? The key?
The key don't make a difference.
Yeah, it might.
But now we're on video, so
No, it might. The key does make a difference because it kills the magneto. He can't shut it off.
Crackers and Tractors. Crackers and Tractors exclusive engine stop button.
I'm telling you, man, the engine runs just fine, you know? He doesn't even really need to do a carb clean. He was running it before I started videoing. Videoing. Is that a word? Videoing?
Yeah, it's a word.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And he couldn't even shut it off. I mean, it was running smooth. On idle, too. So there's nothing wrong with this engine. I was telling him, why don't you just fix this up? You know, he just needs a damn paint job and seats and all that stuff, and that's all you need. So I was telling him, why don't you just, you know, give it a coat of paint, right? Oh, by the way, here's a secret from Bob and Larry. Yeah. The Gorilla Tape really fixes those seats.
2 rolls.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, black Gorilla Tape from Home Depot.
That's what I just went to Home Depot. I got some. I haven't tried it yet, but I'll let you know how it goes. I've got a bunch of seats with cracks in them. Hey, a good tip from Crackers and Tractors about cracks in the seats.
That's right.
So I figured, you know, there's nothing wrong with this, right? I mean, if there's nothing wrong with it, for God's sakes, why don't you just paint it and get it good and get rid of it?
Paint it and take it home with
Well,
you.
then I'd have to throw an engine on there, though, you know? Oh, he did lose one of the panels on the highway. Can you imagine?
No, I didn't. Nope. That's a lie.
You didn't? I thought you
Nope.
said you lost a...
I don't need the cops to see this video.
Oh, right. He didn't. Well, either way, can you imagine? You're following Nick on the highway, right? And all of a sudden, whoosh!
Shot for a white ram with flying metal.
This red panel comes flying off, hits somebody in the car, you know, hits their car. But this is a Super Bronco. It's the same exact one as my buddy Andy from Jericho, except Andy has a, I think it was a 19.5 V-twin Briggs.
Probably shouldn't start it no more.
A little bit of water in there, maybe?
Possibly,
Is that why the whiteness
That's
of the
way it's
Earl?
steamed, yeah.
Oh, there you
Got a head
go.
gasket leak.
Oh, does it?
No.
No, I don't think
It doesn't
so.
have a head gasket. It doesn't have antifreeze. Not yet.
And he's got some snow blowers here ready for the winter, and I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming fast because it was 27 degrees yesterday, which is crazy. I mean, you know, it's barely November, you know? All right, so when I walked up here, check this out. What do I always want? I look in here and boom! Dude's got a right stander 48 in here. And he was like kind of pretending that it was his or whatever, right? It's not. It's a customer. He's doing some small repair, and he had to change a starter on this. So where's that starter?
Right here.
And so the only thing wrong with it was this starter solenoid is busted, right?
Click.
And he says that you can't. You have to buy the whole starter. They don't make them. They don't
I
make
didn't
just.
say that. I just bought the whole starter.
Oh.
The customer agreed he wanted the whole starter, so.
But didn't you say that the customer, or you said that you couldn't find?
I couldn't find it. I'm not saying you can't buy it. I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find it new.
I haven't found it either, to be honest with you.
You
But
see, there's that little.
but it looks like this thing comes off.
Yeah, but you see,
you know?
yeah, I think so. But you see how it's welded there? Something like a braided cable or something?
Huh.
I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's beyond me, so get a hold of stuff.
So, do you mind if we tell everybody about how much you're getting to fix this?
Sure, go ahead.
So he's changing the starter on it, right? And what did you pay for the starter?
$89.
$89. So he's doing that, and he's going to get like $325 for the repair.
$325 for new starter, air filter, inner air filter, outer air filter.
What did you buy the air filters for?
$14 for both, and plugs. It came with plugs.
Spark plugs?
Yeah. Oil filter, $5. Home Depot. Home Depot has filters for the tractors. And yeah, that's it. And the starter and adjust the valves.
Nick, this is a Kawasaki?
Kawasaki 22.
Cool.
First Kawasaki I ever worked on. Now
So-
the guy told me this was liquid cooled, but yet I
Yet to see in radiator.
when it's like this, yeah. I'm like, maybe it's got an oil cooler.
Well, you said the dude kind of knew his stuff. Apparently, he doesn't.
It's got a cooler for the drives. I think the drives have a cooler.
What do you mean, liquid?
No, I don't know. It just goes to this can, and he showed me like
That's
a
what I'm saying. Unless you.
right here. There's a radiator.
Oh, there is a radiator?
Right here. Look, this is a radiator.
Wow.
I just did.
Cool.
But I think it's for the hydraulics. It's not for the. Or you know what? It might be for the. Where does the hose go?
So,
Hydraulics.
I've always wanted one of these right standers, and
Yeah, we can put it back together and drive it.
they're like, I think this one's like 10 grand,
Yeah.
8 or 10 grand, something like that.
That's right.
And the cheapest I've seen a right stander was 2,000. I've seen it for 2,000, but it was
But
kind.
this is like what a landscaping person buys, right?
100%. This is a professional landscaper
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
How many people do you know who has this in their house to mow their lawn?
Besides me, nobody.
There's, I think this might be the first time I've seen a right stander in a regular guy's garage too. But I really want one of these. But you know me, I'm not going to pay a lot of money for it. But I mean, if I could find one without an engine, like $500 or something, I mean that'd be worth it.
I'll tell you what, we can find neutral, and this thing weighs 1,000,000 pounds.
Yes, definitely does.
1,000,000 pounds, man.
I've actually seen.
Arriving tomorrow. There's a starter.
Well, I hope you get your
There's
parts.
the kit, and that's actually the hose I bought.
I've actually seen a Toro grandstand that somebody was selling for $500 without an engine. But I don't know about the hydros, If the hydraulic pumps are bad, whatever, I mean, that's like a lot of money,
That's the whole thing.
And the thing is, I don't really know too much about these things for me to dabble into that kind of project, But I do always wanted a right stander.
Sometimes I just put new blades on if the blades are...
So he has to sharpen the blades, but he doesn't know how he's going to sharpen them. He can't take them off because he doesn't have a jack. I says, how do you not have a jack? These blades
You
are
gotta get an impact on those.
These blades are really nice too. And you know what? The cover's down here,
thanks.
man.
Good thing I didn't... Yeah, it works.
See? Works just fine. You should just sell it as is, bro. Forget about taking the engine off.
I'm missing a piece of the hood.
Damn, that sucks that that you've been missing that.
Where's the...
So we just put the LT1000 carcass in the front on the side like that. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit that Troy Bilt in here. He wants to take the engine out and give me the carcass. I gave him my two-stroker, another snowblower. That would be 3 snowblowers I've given him. He just wants something for it, that's all. So that it doesn't feel like he's giving it away for free. Thanks. I got a bunch of these. So, Nick is going to take the engine off of this, and he's giving me that carcass. We're going to do a time lapse and see how he takes it apart.
Bring that screwdriver or that screwdriver.
Well?
What, I was supposed to be doing it?
Holy cow!
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hold on, let me get like the gun out or something. That'd be cool. Take some bolts off or something. Do something worth something. What holds this for? It's the wrong socket.
You know it's rolling, right?
Oh, I got it. It's still rolling?
Yes. Just whenever you get to it, I'll cut it.
All right. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
So I've concluded my visit with Nick, and he gave me a free sticker. That's right. Crackers with tractors. Awesome. So as we saw, I got the Troy Bilt Super Bronco out. This just needs an engine and a ton of other tender loving care. It's missing one of the panels because it flew off the highway as Nick was taking it home. This is the mower I got through a trade-in. I sold the red one that I found on the street with Bobo while I was walking him. It was self-propelled. I listed it for $135. Guy offered me $125. He brought his with him. I gave him $5 off for this. It looks like it's just missing the pull rope cord broke out of there. Easy fix, you know. He said this was running while he was mowing, you know. So that's a good deal, you know. Finding one, fixing the recoil, selling it for $120. He gives me this one. Fix the recoil. I can sell this for another $100. It's in good shape too. Nick took the engine out of this one. He's had it for about a week or so. He didn't want it. It's a carcass. I'm going to use the front end heat shield. I just put 2 wheels on the front so I can roll it out of the van easier. Drag link. I don't know if I'll take the steering column and the steering sectors. Wiring harness. As a matter of fact, I just sold the wiring harness off of one of these things for like 30 bucks. Gas tank. This rubber brake thing. Throttle cable. Steering wheel. Seat pan. Cables. Springs. I just bought that for $10. Now I have one. I don't know what to do with it. He said the transmission's Dunsky, so we're going to chuck that too. I need the foot pads for the LT1000 I have in the backyard. I have another LT1000 that has a bad push button thing. Now I have a new push button thing. I'm going to strip this. Actually, it takes a while to strip all this stuff down, you know. But that's cool. That's what I'm going to be doing next. Then I'll put the 21 horsepower engine that I put a new piston and rings in. We're going to test that on this and see if it works. If it does and works great, I'm going to fix this up. Maybe paint it again. Probably find another side panel for this. Has a decent, it's okay, the deck, you know. I was telling him the MTD decks are really tough to find, you know. They're always rotted out, and it's hard to find one in decent shape, you know. So that was today's adventure. I'm going to roll these into the garage and see if I can fit. And yes, the garage is once again packed full of crap. Larry, if you want this for Bob, you better come and get it, man. Otherwise, I'm going to sell it. Oh, Nick gave me an LT100 hood, LT1000 hood. This fix is coming up soon. Got the rings in the mail today. So, like I said, I have two engines that are missing this choke linkage, right? Nick was kind enough to give me one. He has a couple. And so I can use this as a template to make my own. So I've got this regular throttle linkage. I've got a bunch of these, you know. They're the same gauge as this one. So I'm just going to bend this, right, to make my own. Yeah. You know, I really just need to have this be able to push is all, you know. So I don't think I really actually have to have it like that, you know. But I'll see what I can do. Let's see how good I do. And there we go. A little bit of bending here and there. Use some pliers. And believe it or not, this wire is actually very strong. It looks pretty good. You can tell which one I made, right? Mine's actually the clean one. But same diameters, gauge wire, same bends, measured exactly the same. The little hook at the end. That's pretty good. I guess I'll find out if it works when I try it, you know? But that's how you make your own choke linkage for single-cylinder Briggs lawn tractor engine. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel. Buy a sticker. Also, follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next project. Have a great day. Hey guys, Boba and I want to thank you for all the support of Mowers and Blowers. If you'd like, make a short video clip like these, and I'll put it as an outro in my future videos.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.